Hello everyone. Today's session will be discussing on repetitive tasks, and this is the fifth chapter. In the second part of this chapter, we'll be concentrating on variables, break and continue. So in this repetitive task, we have for loop, while loop and until loop. Also input output redirection. So when you have something to be done again and again, let's say if you want to read a file 10 times, how do you do? In this current session, we will completely concentrate on this only. There are actually three commands or loops that can help you to get this work done: for, while and until loops. So when we speak about the bash scripting, these are the only three loops which needs to be concentrated upon. It is very important for us to understand how does the loops basically work. Loops can be a limited number of times, or also it can be executed unlimited number of times also. You can start a loop that can never end. You can also start a loop which will end after a certain period of iteration. For loop is very much important for you to understand, as we will proceed with this in the latter part of the course. So, how does for loop work? The for loop is the first of the, if we go to the document, the for loop is the first of the three shells looping constructs. As I said, for, while and until. This loop allows for specification of a list of values. A list of commands is executed for each value in the list. That means for loop is something that you can use only when you know that you have a fixed number of iterations. Let's say 10, 20, 30 or some times iterations. And this is the syntax of your for loop. For, name in list, do, commands, done. Here do and done, whatever list of commands that you pass will be executed between this do and done. And I is the variable which we follow as a practice. So for name in, so for I equals to like that, that is the that is we are following. The return status is the exit status of the last command. Name can be of any variable name, although I is used very often, as I said, for I in like that. List can be any list of words, strings or numbers, which can be literal or generated by any command. The commands to execute can also be any operating system commands, script, program or shell statement. The first time through the loop, name is set to be the first item in the list. The second item in it is a value. So let us go ahead with some activity so that you can understand for loop better. So in this, what we are doing is, I'm just showing you. Let us do it practically first. What I will do is, I'll just copy paste in this. I'll just create three files in here. Now echo file 1 to index, file 2 to index, and file 3 to index. So what it is doing in index, it is, you can see file 1.txt being inserted in index. Now to append file 2.txt in index, you need to give this command, means greater than twice, like this. And now just cat index. You will be seeing file 1.txt, file 2.txt and file 3.txt in there. You need to remember one thing. If you need to append, then you need to give double greater than symbols. And by mistake, if you give just a single symbol, everything what will be there in your index will be deleted. So Let me do it once. You can see here everything got deleted and just file1.txt is there. So for appending over what we have, we need to use greater than symbol twice. Next, what we are doing is we are firing this command. So what is this command doing in here? What it is doing actually? It is asking for I, which is the variable in, it is given in backticks is used in here. So backticks are used to execute this cat index first on the command line, and the output of this cat index is then given as input to I. So in our index we have currently three files. Three inserts have been there: file1.txt, file2.txt, and file3.txt. So three lines we have. So what it will be doing for I in cat index, it will be catting and it will be taking file1.txt, do copy $I. So I's value is file1.txt. It will be copying file1.txt to file1.txt.bac. Like this, when this is done, it will go to second line. It will take this and it will again copy file2.txt.bac. Then again it will be going and it will take file3.txt.bac, it will do, and then the loop will end. So I'll execute this. So I have executed it. Now if I do ls-ltr, you can see these three files have been created as I told you. Now if you run this, what will happen? What it is doing is, for I in 1.5. So 1.5 means here, so 1 to 5. For I in 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, it will do echo $I. And once this is done, once till 5 it is displayed, then the loop will end. So that is it is doing. Similarly, we can do the same thing as the same way you used to do in your C++ practical. I equals to 1, then I less than equals to 5, then I plus plus. So what it is doing is, it will start the iteration from I equals to 1. It will go to I greater than less than equals to 5, means till 5, and it will be incremented from I to I plus plus, like that it will be incremented. So this is the same command what we are doing above. If you see the output in here, you are getting the same output, but which one is simpler, this one or this one? Obviously this one is simpler. So you have multiple ways to run a script and you need to choose which way you are comfortable to carry on. Next, we have while loop. While loop can be used for two things. One, if you have the list of commands to be executed, or if you have limited loop to be executed. Or else you can use while loops for unlimited executions too. So while loop will help you run a loop for a fixed number of times, or also for unlimited number of times. So it is popular if you don't know how many number of times the iteration would take place. The while construct allows for repetitive execution of a list of commands. As long as a command controlling the while loop executes successfully, exit status is 0, then the syntax is this. So only when you see this control command is executed successfully, it will go to the loop. For loop works with a list of values provided, but while loop is something which will help you go into the loop only when the command executes successfully. That is, it has to be a non-zero value. So control command, as I said, can be any command that can exit with a success or failure status. The consequent commands can be any program, script, or shell construct. So as soon as the control command fails, as I told earlier, the loop exits. And in a script, the command following that done statement is executed. So as soon as this one fails, this is executed. The return status is the exit status of the last consequent commands, or zero if none was executed. If while is executing correctly, that means after done, if you try to capture the exit status, it will be the exit status of while loop completely, but not the commands which you have given internally inside the while loop. So am I clear? So let us go and do some exercise. So this is first exercise which we will be doing. So what it is doing is the I value is 0. We are keeping the I value as 0, and it will create, let me first delete these files. So we do not have this. Now let me cat. So this script will, I'm giving the command output as, this script will create 4 blank files with I equals to 0, while $i is less than 4. Do touch and one file will be created. Then I value will be +1. Like that, again it will be coming in here. It will be executing file 2. It will be touching the file 2. It will create a file 2. Then it will be incremented by 1. Sorry, first will be file 0, file.txt. Then the second one will be file1.txt. Then again it will be incremented, it will be file2.txt. Then again it will be incremented, it will be file3.txt. But at last it will be coming, and since file4.txt won't be created because I value should be less than 4, so it will be coming out of the loop. So let me run this. Now let me see the result. So you can see file 0.txt, 1, 2, 3. These 4 files have been created. Similarly, this is the same thing you can do with your for command also. Now in for command, I will change in here something, or else I need to delete each and every time. For I in, so you can see in here. So from 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5 files will be created. So 5 files were created with for. So the same thing you can do with while loop also. You can do the same thing with for loop also. I'm just showing you what all methods we have with which you can do it. Next comes nested while loops. Here what we are doing, this script copies files from my scripting directory into the backup directory. A new directory is created every hour. So here my scripting directory is this. My backup directory is this. I do not have this directory currently created. Do I have it? No such file or directory. So while true, then do. While true, this means this is an unlimited loop, and these kind of loops will only end when you press Control C, Control plus C, Control C. Then only it will be ended. So do what it will be doing, it is taking the date value, and the date value is date plus this. So what is the output? It will be coming in year, month and date format. As I said, year, then month and then date. It's December and 2nd December it is. Then it our it will be taken as only the hour value. So I'll put this first. This is the date, and if I see give here hour, it will be taking just 21. So while what it will do, it will make a directory inside your backup directory as $date. So my date value is this. So in home Oracle backup, a directory with this value will be created today after running the script. Currently, let me make that directory first. So this directory is created, and I can show you nothing is there in the directory. So what directory will be created? Then while our value is not equals to 00, means our values can be 1 to 23. You all should know that hour is 24 hours formats we are taking in here, and from 1 to 23 it will be, while hour is not equals to 0, then do it will be creating this destination directory. Will be the destination directory format is backup directory, which is home Oracle backup. Then the date format it is taking this date, today's date it will be taken. Then hour, $hour. $hour is currently it is 21, so it will be taken 21. Then it will be creating this directory. Then it will copy everything in my scripting directory to this destination directory, and then it will sleep for 3600 seconds, which is exactly 60 minutes. So it will sleep for 1 hour. So this script will be running in the background for an hour, and then again it will be executing the same thing again. So let me run this script first. So this is running in the background, and until and unless I put Control C, it won't be coming out. So let me go to this directory now. You can see what all we have in here in our scripting directory. So in backup directory, you can see this directory with date has been created, and in here with the hour format it is created, and in here we have all these files again. You can see these files which we made today, everything is there, but the script went to sleep mode, and after your 60 minutes again it will be running. So that means while loop is not very much suitable every time, because since this will be running in the background every time, so it will be taking consuming some processes, and there might be some performance impact because of that too. So this is just what I'm showing you in here just for an example, but these type of scripts are not at all recommended to be executed. Rather than this, you can set up a cron job, and where it will be for after each and every hour it will be taking a backup of those, and it will be keeping in the desired location. That is much more better than this, but just to show you an example of while loop, I'm showing I have written this script. Next, let me run this. Next, what do we have? We have this. So what it is doing is, this script runs the executable. So infra, I have to create this. I have already created it. I'll show you what it is in there. Infra variable, it is located in there. So while true, it will display on which topic do you want advice, and it will be listing everything in here. So what is lesser than symbol indicating here, twice lesser than symbol, it will be indicating that everything before this list, those will be displayed as an output in here. So it will be displayed till here, everything will be displayed. So then it will be asking for my choice. I need to give some choice from here, and that will be taken as an input to this variable topic. Then free or paid advice on the topic of dollar topic. Then echo this infra, this one will be executed with this variable. So what do I have in this variable? Received your input as $1. So received your input as $1. So $1, this is the output which will be displayed. So let me run this. So you will be having this one as the output for your this script. So as I told, everything will be listed before list. So we got this in here. In here, let me give Oracle or certification. And you can see in here, free or paid advice on the topic of certification. Received your input as certification. And then again it will be coming into the loop, and again it will be asking for my choice in here. I need to Control C and get back. Next, let us calculate the average in here. So what it will do in, the score value, average, everything is taken as 0. The number of attempts, that is also taken as 0. Then it will be starting the loop where it will be asking, it will first check in, enter your score in between 0 to 1000 or Q for quit. Then read score. It will be reading this or this, okay, or this. Then it will read the variable. That will be taken as a variable to score. Then it will again ask, enter your number of attempts. Then it will be given as an input to your num variable. Then the if statement starts. So if score is less than 0 or greater than 1000, then be serious, come on, try again. So you didn't put the correct result because score should be between 0 to 1000. Else if score is not greater than 0 and lesser than equal to 1000, then if score is Q, if you have this Q here, then it will give an average rating as dollar average, which will be 0, and it will be breaking and it will be exiting. It will show the result as exiting. Or else, if this is also not the input being given in here in the score, then in some variable I'm giving the score value and I'm doing the average with sum and number of attempts, and then your average will be displayed. So let me run this. Let me give the value as 2000. Number of attempts as 5. Be serious, come on, try again. Since this is greater than 1000. Now if I give quit, Q for quit, number of attempts, let me give this, then you can see that it exited from here with average rating as 0, exiting as I told you earlier. Now let me give this as 1000 and number of attempts 5. So what should be the average? The average should be 200. So it is displaying your average. So it ran this block where it displayed your average is 200 and then it is exiting. So we are done with our while loop also. So next comes our until loop. So the until loop is similar to while loop except that the loop executes until the test command executes successfully. But while loop executes only whatever conditions given in the while loop is true. And in until loop it will work until the test command executes successfully. As soon as it finds the test command does not execute successfully, then the loop breaks. The return status is the exit status of the last command executed in the consequent command, or 0 if none was executed. So let us go to this same program, but here what we are doing, we are giving this script directory, backup directory, and then we are seeing disk full. This value is df-h, this directory. So for this directory, then let me show you the output for this. Then the directory being this, then so 49. I'm not showing you one by one again. So it is taking this value, use value, file value, it is taken. So until disk full is greater than 90, do these things, make directory, then while loop will be executed and this the same thing will be executed in here. But until it is greater than 90. But if it's greater than 90, greater than equal to 90, then it will again execute this and it will remove the some files greater than which are older than 30 days. It will be removing those files. I'm not executing this because it will be going into an infinite loop again. So I'm just showing you how to do this and I'm just showing you in here itself. And next we come to input output redirection. Instead of controlling a loop by testing the result of a command by user input, you can specify a file from which to read the input that controls the loop. In such cases, read is often the controlling command. So in here what it is doing is, this is for output redirection. As we said earlier, we saw it earlier also, test, this one is being given to file.txt. Now if we want to append something more to this, you need to give twice greater than symbol. Now for input redirection, what you need to do, you need to give everything which is present in this file as an input to your command. So this symbol, less than symbol, is present. If you cannot remember it by this, a simple method to remember is where it is pointing. So this symbol is pointing to command. So whatever is here, it will be going to command. Similarly, in here, whatever is in here, it will be going to file.txt. So we are done with our today's session where we saw for loop, while loop, until loop, and input output redirection. In our next session, we will be seeing about break and continue. And so we have completed nearly 60 to 70% of our session till now. So we will be meeting in our next session. Till then, take care. Hope you have liked my videos. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Thanks a lot.